Bill Burr does not mince his words or varnish his opinion when it comes to Elon Musk and the other billionaires that are basically hijacking our country. John Iadarola of the Damage Report takes a look at, this sort of, I would call it a feud, except it's more like Bill Burr just owning them. I'm going to have some opinions that I will add as we go, and then I want to know what you think of the comments, but let's take a listen to it.
Bill Burr is absolutely not holding back when talking about Elon Musk these days. Listen to this.
Where my comedy act is right now is I'm trying to get regular people to stop yelling at each other and realize that it's a select few group of nerds, okay, eating raw almonds and doing their stupid workouts and everything and just competing with each other to have the biggest infinity pool, and the rest of us are getting pushed down. And they've politicized the whole stupid thing, and we're falling for it.
And who's the they? Besides people who eat almonds?
That idiot Elon Musk.
Oh.
That guy, he's going to leave, who evidently is a Nazi. I just refuse to believe that it was an accidental 2-time Sieg Heil. And he does it at a presidential inauguration. This is why I hate liberals. It's like liberals have no teeth whatsoever. They just go, oh my God, can you believe I'm getting out of the country? I'm just like, well, you're going to leave the country because of one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face who makes a bad car and has an obsolete social media platform? You're going to leave this? Why doesn't he leave? Why isn't he stopped? What are we so afraid of this guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag?
100%. And had the option to. Mark Zuckerberg was willing to fight him, and he ran away. But obviously he's never going to fight. But dude, turned down the opportunity to talk to Jon Stewart. Elon Musk is terrified of
Does anybody remember that Mark Zuckerberg offered to fight Elon Musk? I mean, I was just about to say I would pay to see that, but it would be lame. It would be just cringe and embarrassing, and I would pay to see them have to fight to the death.
Because he knows how puddin' soft he is, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. I love that from Bill Burr. I don't understand the almond part necessarily. Do tech billionaires that eat a lot of almonds?
No, I mean, it wasn't it should have been a deeper cut than that. It should have been blue methylene or whatever.
The red light treatments,
or the raw milk. But raw almonds is
he's totally right. He's totally right. And the small group that's actually benefiting from this, but I love his commentary on Elon Musk even more. And he every week he goes on a rant about Elon Musk these days, and this is I think a great point that we've gotten to in the country. Not that Elon Musk has all the power that he has, but that this is an inflection point where people can get how he has always sucked. He's always been terrible, and he has been protected from people understanding that by a ton of PR, just free PR being given to him by TV shows that bring him on for cameos and newspaper profiles that imply that he's an inventor or something like that. But
that's true, actually. I used to be really, this goes a way back, but I used to be really excited about Tesla and awesome. What we need is a Green New Deal. We need electric cars. This guy is really leading the charge on that. He's funny, he's goofy, he's up with people, and then you start to learn. Then you start to see him in action, and you start to learn some of the history of it, and you go, oh.
People like Bill Burr, I think, with their broad reach or whatever, being real about who he is, how weak he is, and all that, I think that that's a great opportunity for people to finally catch up on Elon Musk. But what do you think? You're the comedian.
Well, the reason people are responding to Bill Burr in this moment is because he is so direct. And I think that's why people respond to comedians broadly is they are direct. They say maybe what you're thinking, and they can say it in a clever way. Some of that can be incredibly, racist. Tony Hinchcliffe, or some of it can be Bill Burr. And let's be real, Bill Burr is not a PC guy. If you listen to any of what Bill Burr says, he does. I would I would characterize it as punching down. He makes fun of all kinds of groups, right? He's not precious with any people. And he certainly is not precious with the powerful. And I think that is the kind of straight speaking that so many are responding to right now, just like Representative Jasmine Crockett. People are responding to the way that she is unafraid to just call this stuff what it is. And I just need to listen to that every single morning when I wake up. And I love, let's be real, that's Terry Gross. That's NPR. He is dunking on liberals, being like, they have no teeth. They're sitting around here like, and it is a nice little wake up call because NPR is the place that sort of like calms you down with the terrible news, but no one's going to really speak directly to the moment that we're living in, you know? And like the fact that we have got Bill Burr doing that to Terry Gross is just so perfect.
Yeah, I love that. Like, oh, he's a Nazi. He's got a terrible car. And Terry Gross is like, the what now?
Who are we talking about?
And the funny thing is, ironically, because they don't have teeth, they can't eat the almonds. You know, they want those raw almonds, but they can't actually eat them.
Can't crunch
so anyway, I just want to hear more of that. It's even been stronger in the recent past. I mean, I will remind everyone when Bill Burr said that billionaires are rabid dogs who deserve to die.
They should be put
Which
down.
Is the sort of thing. They should be put down like dogs. That's the sort of thing that gets you banned on Twitch these days. But yeah, I mean, look, I think you had this anger against the elites and the status quo that was co-opted by the right and turned towards putting into power a regime more dominated by billionaires and wealthy interests than we've ever seen before, which is like deeply ironic and deeply tragic. But I think the anger is still going to be there. The anger is going to be even bigger now. And I think you're going to hear more and more of that sort of thing. You're going to hear it from some politicians, Jasmine Crockett and all that, from people like Bill Burr. And obviously our commentary, I think, is just as direct. And so we need to see more of that. And maybe even on NPR. We'll see.
You know, I just want to, as to the billionaires, as to his comment about billionaires should be put down by dogs. Like dogs, not by dogs, although that's a thought. No, you know, I think really underneath that is the sentiment of maybe they need a taste of their own medicine.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's an ability for comedians again to cut through this, and also they're not censored, and the right can't take it. Oh my gosh, he said they should be put down like dogs. I thought you weren't about censorship. I mean, this is the kind of thing, John. Finally, is Bill Burr going to get a knock in the middle of the night, and ICE is going to try and deport him because he's saying these things? No, because number one, he's not talking about Palestine in that way yet, but number two, that is what freedom of speech is. Like when you're aggressing on someone and you have a plan. Not that our law enforcement has ever stopped some of the mass shooters who did have plans, even though they were alerted by authorities. But I digress. Like again, this is free speech. He is saying what he thinks. It doesn't mean he's trying to violently plot anything against anybody, and we generally respect that. We even respect when Nazis march in the streets. We don't like it, but last I checked, the Charlottesville rioters or marchers were not arrested except for the guy who, killed a person and injured a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I don't advocate violence, and I don't think that's the answer, but I do think things have reached a boiling point, and sort of here we are, which is not the same as being like, yeah, let's all start killing each other, because again, that ends with blood in the streets, and that's not good for anybody, right? Whether or not you argue that that's inevitable, I think that's a conversation that we could have. I'd like to think it's not inevitable. I'd like to be able to solve some of these problems we face as a nation without violence. But the people at the wheel at the moment don't seem open to that. So, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments.